This is breaking news from 4 News Now.
Good afternoon for 4 News Now. I'm Rob King. We begin the KXLY+ Daily Rundown with the latest information in the Moscow murders trial. A judge heard arguments this morning on whether or not to keep the gag order that's currently in place in the trial. And with the latest details, we're going to go live to 4 News Now's Jordan Smith outside the Latah County courthouse. Jordan, what do we know so far?
Yeah, it was about an hour-long hearing this morning. It started at 10:30 a.m. Kohberger was present during this hearing, and we did see a new look for Kohberger instead of the orange jumpsuit that I think many of us have seen him in before. He came in suit and tie. It appeared he had a fresh haircut, and he stayed silent for the entire hearing. And basically what this hearing was about was the Gonsalves family attorney, Shannon Gray, was pushing to have that gag order amended, lifted, or altered in some way so that more facts of this case could come to light, whether that be to the public or to the victims' families.
Got it. And Jordan, what was the decision made by the judge?
So no decision has been made as of today. He's taking all of this into consideration. We heard from the prosecution. We heard from Shannon Gray. We also heard from Kohberger's defense team. And he's taking all of that into consideration. And in the next coming days, he's going to release a written statement on how he'd like to proceed. But in the meantime, the gag order will remain in place as it is right now.
Got it. And Jordan, that's not the only hearing you're attending today. What's coming up in about an hour from now?
Right. Yeah, we have the second hearing is whether or not TV cameras will be allowed to be in the courtroom moving forward. Again, there's this, I think, fear of sensationalizing this trial. And so there's going to be a lot of back and forth arguments, kind of like it was in this morning's hearing. And I think we're not sure how the judge is obviously going to rule. But yeah, that's going to be a really big story to keep an eye on.
Got it. It's important to note that KXLY is part of the news agencies that, as in this gag order hearing. Jordan, has a timeline been laid out for when a decision might come? Are we thinking next week, or could it be a while from now?
Well, the judge said in the coming days. So I imagine we'll take the weekend to kind of think this over, and then hopefully we could have a decision by next week. But there wasn't a concrete timeline put in place.
And Jordan, did the Gonsalves family speak?
No, it was members of the victims' families did attend virtually via Zoom, but from what we could tell, there was no families present, and it was strictly just Shannon Gray, the Gonsalves family attorney, and the prosecution and the defense team that were really just kind of going back and forth on how they'd like to proceed. Got
it. And this is possibly the last hearing before the murder trial begins in October, correct?
Right. As of right now, there's nothing else scheduled for a later date. And these are really the final pillars that need to be established moving forward. And kind of the two hearings, a lot of people, as we said, have had their eyes on. But yeah, we'll certainly be in the courtroom here in the next about hour or so for the next hearing, and then be sure to provide you an update as we learn more.
Got it. And Jordan has also been doing a great job of live tweeting. He's doing as much as he is legally allowed to from the courtroom.
Yes. Yeah, my fingers are staying active on the keyboard. So yeah, Rob, we do it for you. We do it for you.
I appreciate it. We in the digital department appreciate it. Gold star for you, my friend. So,
yeah.
Jordan,
awesome.
I'll let you get back to it as well. Thank you for your time, and be sure to watch 4 News Now at 4, where Jordan will be live in Latah County later this afternoon. Jordan, thank you.
Awesome, Rob. Thanks.
So like we said, there is another hearing that will be coming up at about 1:30. Be sure to follow us. Twitter is where we're getting that information out the quickest right now. Just following Jordan's tweets, and he's been doing a great job of threading, quotes that people are saying in these hearings. And he will be live, like I said, again tonight. That's not the only breaking news that's been going on today. Special counsel has unsealed a grand jury indictment, the second indictment of President Trump. Now, this is 37 counts in this indictment, all related to handling of classified documents. And what's alleged in this indictment is that the documents were around Mar-a-Lago and places where other people could have access and not secured properly. And this could, based on the 37 counts, could face prison time. President Trump has maintained his innocence in social media post, and the special counsel on this did have a press conference or a statement earlier today with more details you can find at kxly.daily. If you think we're done with breaking news, we're not, because we found out Camp Hope officially closed this morning. Originally, it was court ordered that they would have a plan presented and close by the end of the month, but we found out this morning that the last resident was able to find housing. So down from over 600 at its peak about 18 months ago, they got to about 300 in the winter where they started doing these kind of point-in-time counts, and now 0 remaining. So Bronte Sorotsky is out at the site today, speaking with local businesses about what this means, the impacts they think this can have, also speaking with officials about what this means for our city and the outlook going forward as again, Camp Hope has officially closed, and that photo right there that you can see is just where it used to be tents and RVs and cars, and now nothing. And we'll see what they have future plans for that land as well. Natalie Grant, she is looking at Hoop Fest. We're finally finished with all the breaking news, something a little lighter. Natalie is speaking with the executive director of Hoop Fest. It looks like they need 50 more volunteers to feel comfortable about where they are for the event taking place in 2 weeks, 24th and 25th. So Natalie is also speaking with a longtime volunteer about why it's important to volunteer and what that process sort of looks like. Applications are open, and that application can be found at kxly.com. Looks like you also get some nice Under Armour swag if you do volunteer, so it might be a nice incentive for you. Let's close out with a look outside. It is gross today. It's cooled off a little bit, but still warm and muggy. So we are expecting scattered showers to continue and possible thunderstorm activity beginning in the evening. It's going to be isolated, mostly in Idaho, that activity. Not as intense as well yesterday, kind of staying into the mountain areas, which is good because yesterday it was very loud and disruptive to all of us. In addition, some of the lightning was causing issues, downing trees, causing power outages. So this is what the forecast is going to look like later on tonight. As you can see, looks like the Idaho side of the border is going to get hit the most. But after that, we're looking forward to some calming down, a little bit of cooling off into the weekend as well. Shaping up to be kind of a nice weekend as we go into the low 80s. Still above average for this time of year, but not as hot as we saw earlier this week. Unfortunately, at the start of next week, it looks like that's all going to ramp back up again, and we could be touching the 90s beginning next week. So that's all we have for today's KXLY Plus Daily Rundown. Thank you, Jordan, for taking some time out of his busy day to hop on with us, talk about what's going on in Latah County, the latest in the Moscow murders trial. By the way, due to NBA, 4 News Now has special editions today at 4 p.m. and then later on tonight at 8 p.m. and then as well as our typical night side at 11 p.m. where we'll have all those stories, the latest in breaking news for you coming up. Be sure to download KXLY Plus on your connected TVs. That's Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku, as well as download the 4 News Now mobile app, where you can get the latest in breaking news notifications in your community. So that's all we have. Be sure to tune in to 4 News Now at 4. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for KXLY Plus.